a little bit more about what is happening. It's Colleen and Rhonda of Six Nations. Ladies, if you could just tell us, first of all, why you decided to come out here tonight and set up this blockade on the roadway.
Well, we came here tonight to stand in solidarity with the Wet'suwet'en tribe and the Mohawk tribes up in Tyendinaga, standing against the RCMPs and the OPPs who have gone in and once again made this attempt of genocide. I would call it genocide, you know, like to take our Ogohoe people off our lands and, you know, in favor of a pipeline. And, you know, Prime Minister Trudeau has said, you know, like they've, exhausted all his resources, you know, but yet we feel, you know, like, no, you haven't, you know, you need to quit lying to the world. And I'm personally, you know, like I'm very angry at the call out that's been made, you know, to remove our people from our territories.
Looking at the video today from Tyendinaga territory and seeing 10 people arrested, put in handcuffs, what was your reaction to seeing that video today?
There was actually 6 people that were arrested, and one was our really good friend who was arrested. He was on Six Nations and he was out there, and it just really adds to the fire. And we're ready, we're determined, and we're standing our ground. And as Rhonda said, we are here standing in solidarity with the Wet'suwet'en and with Tyendinaga, with all of our brothers and sisters across Turtle Island who are simply standing up to try to protect our lands and to try to protect our waters and everything for everyone. And so, yeah, we're prepared to stand here and until the RCMP leave the territory and the OPP leave the territory in Tyendinaga.
Thank you so much, Colleen and Rhonda. Thank you for your time. So again, the blockade here continues just on Six Nations.
How long did you expect this demonstration to last?
Well, that's up to the RCMP. Are they going to remove themselves from the Wet'suwet'en territory? And you know, when they get off their territory, maybe then we can open this road up.
Okay. Thanks. What's the issue though, really, with the pipeline going through the land? Like, in your opinion?
Well, it's
wrong. Is it just pollution, or is it just that they're
just fracking? So they're saying it's a natural pipeline, but it is fracking, which is really that does the most damage to our environment. And yeah, we're standing against that, standing against the repeated extraction of our resources that is actually like contributing to all of the climate change, all of the environmental crisis that we are facing today. And so, yeah, that's where it all started out in BC, but it's the same issue that everybody fights in all of these different territories, so we're all standing against that as well.
My opinion on this myself, like even in the election, I brought up the fact that Mr. Harper basically let China buy some of our Canadian land, right? That means that you guys might have to fight it out with China, or all of us will have to one day, to get that land back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this isn't just about us.
No.
This just is about the Ogohoe people on Turtle Island, you know. Like, this concerns everybody, every living being that's walking this earth, you know. Like, if we continue to allow these incidents to happen where they're going through territories, you know, just because they made a deal with China.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, you got to think about all the children of the world, you know, like it's just wrong what they're doing.
It absolutely is. I agree with you.
It's for money.
Yeah. Even
as
a nationalist like myself, my point of view is that Mr. Harper won an election. They didn't mention anything about a sale to China of our land and our resources. And to me, this pipeline just links that resource to the people that bought it, and that's all it's there for. So that's.
Well, my question is, why would they have to go through Native territory to do it? You know, again, why are they going through our lands to do things like this? You know, why don't they go pick, you know, one of the most expensive golf courses, what do you call them? Courses, and, you know, go through that, or go through a city, like, you know, but in all actuality, don't go through anything at all.
I saw something before a report, and basically they linked this Chinese expansionism into Canada with some of the women that have gone missing out west, because it seems to be on the corridor that they chose for their pipeline, or at least an avenue of getting oil out of Canada. Do you have any thoughts on that? Have you ever heard of that before at all?
I've heard of that, and them putting those man camps up there, you know, and, you know, they're making these man camps, you know, for all these workers that come in, but yet, you know, almost on a daily basis, almost like maybe every minute of the day, one of our, you know, Native sisters go missing, you know, like that's, yeah, we're going to tie that in. Of course we are.
Yeah, and
you know,
do you think that maybe perhaps a couple of days of this or something like that, maybe then take it down and push the other issues so that you'll get more Canadians on your side instead of alienating the people who maybe might not even be mad at Aboriginals now, or our fellow citizens who are Aboriginal. That's my point of view on things. I think you guys think of yourselves as your own nation. I look at you differently, like you're one of us. You know what I mean? Even though it's a different thing. I don't bug you about it, but that's how I look at it. Like you're like one mind, you know? So.
Well, I mean, like, what's wrong about it? You know, what is wrong about it? I mean, like, people are inconvenienced. Well, you know, like, we've been inconvenienced since the day of contact.
Sure.
You know, let's go that far back. If you want to go back to this, go back to that. Like, let's go back to the day of invasion. You know, like, why couldn't our people just live the way we were living? I mean, yous came to us. We didn't go to yous. And then when yous came here, it was like, you know, we held out a helping hand. You know, we said, let's live together. Let's share all of this. So how can it be wrong? Like, well, I mean, like,
just the fact that, you know, when those agreements were made, none of us were alive, and all the people that made those agreements, or lies, if you want to call them, which they were. There's no doubt about it.
Again, you can go back to the same thing. Yeah. You know, if you want us to have that attitude, you know, it has to go both ways. It has to go both ways. You know, like, you knew what your ancestors were all about. You knew that there was treaties made. You know, I'm really done explaining just who we are and why we do what we do. You know, do you got to carry a card to explain who you are? We do.
Well, my skin color, my skin color didn't do anything wrong. It's other people that had my skin color. I got a bit of Jewish ancestry. I know some of the crimes that some of the people that are Jewish committed in the past, like, you know, the Russian Revolution and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But I know better than to label everybody the same. You know, that's what I'm trying to say, is that if you want people to support you, then maybe, you know,
then they need to realize what is happening in the world. You know, they need to have a better understanding of each other. You know, we're not saying that, you know, we're doing this for our reasons. You know, we're doing this for our reasons, whether you support us or not. You know, we don't need for anybody to, you know, fall back and believe in what we believe in. As long as, you know, you know, it's just a very political issue. You know,
sure.
And we shouldn't have to keep explaining ourselves. Like I said, you know, we don't want this. It's simple. You know, the Wasusians didn't want that either. You know, they're people who just want to live off their land. But somebody wants to come in there and say, you know, no, this is what we're going to do. No, that's not going to fly anymore.
No,
and why should it?
If I could just quickly ask, what's the plan for the rest of the night, and how will this go down with the blockade?
Well, again, it's based on what happens with the RCMPs and what the OPP have done. You know, it's you know, we'll stand here as long as we have to. They do, you know, and it goes back to our ancestors. They did a lot for us. The least we can do is, you know, not let their deaths be, you know, their efforts, you know, die in vain with them. You know, like, we're fighting for the next generations and the next generations to come, and that's for each and every one of us. You know, you want clean drinking water? We do. You know, we want to be able to drive on these roads, walk into a store, you know, without having, you know, any kind of animosity between each other. You know, we're neighbors. Let's live like neighbors. Let's get back to that old way, you know. And we have to stand up to all of these, like, hey, you know, we're all taxpayers here. I mean, we have to pay taxes. I don't know why people think we don't. You know, maybe at one time we didn't, but you know what? We've adapted too. But you know what? Enough is enough. And all we want to do is just try and, you know, keep that stronghold and keep everybody believing that we are all in this together. You know, if you're satisfied with how your government's treating you, that's up to you. But that's not okay with us. You know, they don't need to bring in RCMPs and OPPs to tell us, you know, that we can't do this, we can't stand up for each other. Like, if your child was hurt at school or was getting bullied, you go and stand up for them, do you not? You help, you know, rectify the issues. So it's the same way. We're done with you know, we're not the bullies here. We're going to fight back, and if this is how we have to do it, then I guess this is how we're going to have to do it. You know, however long we're here is however long we're here. Because we're going to stand strong with our brothers and sisters, you know, like, that's what solidarity is all about. So we're prepared to stay for the long haul, you know, so.
Can you just clip this on your jacket quickly? More from CQV Kitchener.
Well, maybe assimilation works in two ways. Maybe we should be more like you guys and stand up for our rights a little bit the way you guys do.
I would think so.
Not in this case, not in retaliation to you or to our government.
Yes.
You see, I've been in elections, and they don't show us on TV and things like that. Then when we say things that we believe in, they just label us. They're trying to fuel racism in Canada. You'll notice that.
Oh.
Like CBC is really bad for that. It's like they're trying to create racism. They're reporting on things as they say, but they're just blowing things up. I saw a report. They started off with this white hate. You've seen that too, right? The big white guilt. You guys threw a little bit of that around too. But I'm telling you, they're pushing this, and they're not stopping with white people. They're going to get everybody together to try to fight each other. It's not a good thing.
Oh, that it's not.
Yeah. So most people on the ground, I think they'll be happy to know that we're pretty good to each other the way we are even here, even though you're blocking the road for some people and things like that. Generally, if I go shopping on Six Nations, everybody's nice and things like that, and that's how most people are, good people, eh?
Well, we're neighbors.
Well, yeah.
You know, we should be.
We're even deeper than that if you look on a nationalist level, like the way I look at you, you know what I mean? So we're more like family.
Can I get you to say your first and last name, so we're a bit late to the interview?
I'm Rhonda Martin. I live here on Six Nations.
And how do you spell your first and last name?
RHONDAMARTIN.
And Rhonda, so tell me why you're here today at the blockade.
Well, we're here today to stand in solidarity with BC and Caledonia and to show our support for the raids that they did on the Wet'suwet'en tribes, on the Mohawks. So basically, it's against the whole issue. There's no part way. This is the top issue, but there's a lot of many other issues that can fall under that. But right now, the main issue right now is, you cannot be pulling these invasions on our people, just because we're going to stand up for something that's right.
What are your thoughts on the arrest in Belgium?
I was very angry. I was very angry that they would have to use such force just to, stop some people from speaking up against the things that are happening to their people. So, if they, I don't know. It was pissed me off when I saw something like that. Yeah, you're just gonna go and keep, arresting us, pulling us off our land. Well, all right then. But we're gonna put up a fight first. And when I say put up a fight, I mean we're going to stand strong here, and we know what we're up against. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here. If we didn't want to be a part of that positive outcome, then we wouldn't be here.
How long do you plan to stay at the blockade for? For the group here?
For however long it takes.
Until the RCMP leave the Wet'suwet'en territory and the OPP vacate Tyendinaga, we'll be here.
Do you plan to be here overnight?
We don't know yet. We don't have a time limit. We're just waiting. We're waiting. Everybody's waiting all across this country. For the Prime Minister to
Get to the jail.
he's got to recognize the hereditary chiefs all across this country. This is our land, and he knows it. He knows it. That's just the thing. He knows it. He's put enough lies through that tongue of his. I'm surprised he can still talk. I really am. You can only tell so many lies, and your tongue's bound to get sore. And that's too bad because he's just carrying on his father's legacy and thinking he's going to assimilate the Ongongway people off this territory. Well, maybe at one time ago they thought they were successful, but that ain't going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen anymore. And at least not without with a good fight back, that's for sure. We're always going to stand up for it because it's wrong. It's wrong to go into our territories like this. We're not going through Caledonia or Hamilton or any other spot and trying to put, a pipeline or something through their territories, their cities. So what makes them think it's okay for them to go through ours? Their battles with China. They owe China. That's not our fault. That's your Prime Minister's fault. That's the government's fault. They're making backdoor dealings, and a lot of the Canadian people that are out there, whether they're supporting us or not, they should really just really look at what's really happening to their communities, to their cities, their towns, and everything like that. If they enjoy living in suppression, and that's up to them, I guess. We can't tell another person how to live. We just know how we want to live.
And everyone here is from Six Nations, or people from outside from all over?
We got supporters from all over. You know, we're not doing no hit cone or anything like that, but yeah.
There's a lot of
We're
allies.
asking people if they want to come and support us, they're more than welcome. You know, there's supporters all across Canada who are standing up, and you know, different nationalities too. You know, and they want to be our allies. You know, we're all about having our allies, having those neighbor to neighbors. So it's not against any other individual or any other nationality. It's just against that government. That's how I look at it.
Anything else to add?
You know, we're just here for the long run, and however long it takes. You know, we've survived all these hundreds of years. Yeah, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, thanks for your
Thank you.
sincere words. It's good to hear things from good people. We disagree on the roadblock thing, but the Chinese pipeline, that shit's got to stop. Pardon me, that stuff's got to stop.
Well, see, when you guys go to fight that, maybe we can join you because we'd help you.
Yeah, it's,
See, that's what we do. You know.
well, it's a long fight. Who knows who our allies will be. It was nice talking to you, though. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.